We're not concerned with it fitting. It's a loud car. Wow. Ladies and gents, hello. Doing a little behind the scenes oil change video on my 620. Not really a how-to of any sort because I've done a couple of how-tos, but it's been a long time since I changed the oil. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I got two different kinds of oil here. And then this is the filter that I'm using. And right now I'm just letting the bike run so it warms up a little bit so the oil flows out easier, but that's about it. We're gonna get into it. Obviously, after warming up the bike, we're gonna pop out the little drain plug. I'm actually curious to see how much oil there is, because I don't even know how long ago I changed this shit. I mean, it's plenty of oil. Looks a little bit old. Looks a little bit old. Not really any shavings on the magnetic part, but that's cool. That's cool. Now we're gonna undo the filter. Next, we got a 17mm box wrench. So I just pop it on here, just like that. Loosen the filter. Shouldn't be too tight at all. Obviously, could use, you know, a socket wrench or something, but this is pretty good. Not torqued much at all, this thing. I'm actually surprised there's this much oil in here. I thought there would be a lot less. I thought there would be a lot less oil. Eek. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Alright, we're gonna let this oil drain for a while. Let this oil drain. And one other thing I'm doing today is actually replacing these levers, putting OEMs back on. And one of the bushings here is loose or broken, so I gotta replace that. So a few tiny little things I gotta do. I'm gonna do that while the oil drains. I'm sorry I skipped the funnest part of putting on the new filter, but basically you prime it a little bit, you pour a little oil inside the filter, put a little oil around the rim, and then it's on. And then to torque it, you don't need to torque it much, you just kind of hand tighten it. And then I'm gonna wait for this to drip a little more, and then put in the drain plug. And over here, this turned out to be a bitch. I'm having trouble pulling out this fucking bushing thing here, so I'm gonna get some squeezy pliers and go to town on that, but I'm gonna wrap up this first. Alright, boys and girls, the filter is back on, the oil drain plug is back on. I took off the little cap here. Beep. And now we're gonna take our oil. Yes, I'm using two different kinds of oil, which is kind of crazy, but it's okay. And we need about 3.1, 3.3, 3.5 quarts. So first quart, we pour in aggressively. We're not concerned with it fitting. It's a loud car. Wow. What the fuck? That was crazy. That thing was open exhaust, baby. Alright, well, so that's what we're gonna do. Just gonna let this baby drain. Just like so. We got our second thing here. That was a loud car. Alright, so we'll just get every bit out. Get every little bit out. I might just pour in the second one and then hold two at the same time. So there we go. Yeah, a nice little spring oil change. Feels good. Alright, I'm gonna get back to you guys in a little bit. Alright, so I ran the bike and it took only 3 quarts of oil instead of 3.1 or anything. But yeah, the level is up here between the lines when I vertical rise the bike, so it's all good. Alright, so oil change is complete. I think I'm gonna change these levers, and then I'm probably gonna look at the shifter because the shifter is sticking. Alright, so now we're gonna replace the front brake lever. I have my OEM Rambo unit right here, and I just remove the little nut down here. And look at this. Sometimes your rear brake, your lights or brakes could stop working because of this tiny little button right here. This white little button gets dirty or gets jammed, so I've had to deal with that. So that's your real front brake lights. So let's pull this baby out and put on the stock. Basically just got to bump out this nut and then slide it in. Hard to do with one hand and holding the camera. Alright, so I replaced the front brake with the OEM. Now I'm going to do the same to the clutch side. Super simple thing to do. Clean it all up before you do it. Might as well. Good time to clean. Alright, so one more thing I did was put a little zip tie on my fork just to see how much we're traveling here. And then this thing was being stubborn, this little fucking thing, so I actually took some monkey pliers. This is a really good trick when there's nothing to grab onto except for that little nub there, right? I usually just use these because these vice grips hold it as tight as you want it. So basically now I'm gonna loosen this and we're gonna replace it, this thing, replacing it with a new one. Oop. So the shortest side is the one that goes down and the taller side is the one that sticks up. So let's go. All right, so just like that, the dash no longer wobbles. And the final thing will be to mess with the shifter to see if I can grease it up or something, and maybe it will work after that. I don't know why it's sticking. All right, so I think I found my problem. You see how this rod is straight over here? This one is not. This rod has a proper bend in it. Yeah, I would imagine that's why it's sticking. So I'm gonna replace it with my new little shaft here, and yeah, see if that works. All right, so I replaced this shaft over here with a new one. Everything's assembled. Now I'm gonna get this thing proper greasy before I bolt it back up. I'm not gonna bolt it too tight. I'm really hoping this fixes the issue. We'll see. Boom, and just like that, we are golden. This baby comes back just like it should. So this being bent was a problem. Yay! Fixed a lot of things on the bike today. I'm really excited. Love this thing. I'm gonna take this motor to 100,000 miles, so that's right. We'll talk later.